Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. Nothing has gone wrong at all. Apologies. Yeah, we had an echo. That was a hell of a start to the stream, wasn't it? Good lord. Yeah. I don't know what more to say other than that, really. Right, so as in the stream title, we originally meant for this to be an Epic Jam showcase. We'll still be an Epic Jam showcase as well, but we have more stuff that we are going to talk about, and more stuff that's happened. About an hour ago, we put live a news post introducing essentially Mod Warden and essentially going through a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about that to kick off the stream. And also to my right, Mod Porky, my fellow community manager, is alongside me as well.
Whoop, whoop.
So quick intro, Mod Warden. I know you've been on stream before when you came on last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago. But that's just right. A quick introduction as to who you are and what you do. Yeah,
I'm the executive producer of RuneScape. Very happy to be in with the team, of course. And I'm the guy that's most responsible for all things RuneScape, and that includes everything from the game, the overarching strategy and vision, the player sentiment, all of these things.
So in essence, you're the person responsible for all things RuneScape. Yeah. If you were to kind of top line it, I guess, from there.
That's right.
So we put out the news post. I'm going to throw it over to Porky now because obviously, Porky, you've been going back and forth with Porky with Warden again the post live.
Are we not recapping the post first?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, you've got that.
Oh, okay, I'll recap. That's right. So
I've only got like a couple of questions I've already picked up from Reddit about it.
So in essence, we had the post going through our current dev team structure, as it were, where we kind of finally dived into what each team does. We know about the episodic content team. We kind of touched upon that, but then of course we had live ops and core experience. So let's go on to the monetization topic, if we can, if that's okay. And what was mentioned on the post.
Yeah, sure. So it's like trying to figure out where do we jump into all of this in a different way, because I am the new guy, get to look at everything with fresh eyes, and where do we jump in? And it's like, okay, I wanted to look at things for the last few weeks, right? Because the worst thing I can really do is react and overreact and not have a plan and just not come to the table with anything. Even my thoughts weren't collected at that point, right? That takes a little bit to work out. And I just wanted to be fair with the teams and get some idea what this all means and get caught up in history and what our systems look like. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that happens, especially when the community gets unhappy about anything like this, right? And this is just a regular thing that we do. And then kind of focusing more about where I want to land on side of these things that matter to me, that I think the players also care about, are things like what's your strategy, right? What's the overarching vision, right? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Are you going to stop doing something? Are you going to stop breaking the game because XP is out of control and unbalanced and that sort of thing, right? So it's about trying to get some movement on that. The next bit is also taking a look at things that I think are really out of whack. And that area is, we're not talking. First and foremost, we're not talking. That's out of balance. Our players are talking, but we're not talking back. And there isn't a dialogue that is happening back and forth on this, right? And now I'm responsible for that. And then another piece of this is also, of course, loot boxes specifically, right? And where am I going to land on loot boxes? First and foremost, we're going to follow the rules of the land, right? That's the beginning of that. And if any of the regulators in place want us to stop doing something, we're going to do that. That's the right thing to do. But it goes more than that too, right? It's like we start talking about the duty of care and making sure that people and players are taken care of. Well, we don't have all the pieces in place there. We have, I think, some of the intent. I hear it every day here, but we're not talking to our players on where we're at with some of these elements. Also, I want any system that we develop around MTX is actually that it has a place in RuneScape, that it's fun, it's engaging, that it belongs narratively, that maybe one system feeds into another because it's kind of cool and there's helps you get introduced to other pieces of content. That part is pretty important. And then things like rewards need to be generous in the right ways, not in unbalanced ways. And yeah, those are some of the initial pieces there. There are a lot of other topics that get harder to jump right into, but we'll chip away at those and we'll keep talking.
I mean, obviously we mentioned about we wanted to do a video, which hopefully next week, is that correct?
Yeah, it's like we've got all the work planned. People are acting on all that effort right now, and it's just a matter of sequencing it in the schedule and getting it out. And we're putting a lot of effort in getting that out. Hopefully next week. But that's the plan.
There's a small chance it can slip to the week after.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing that can happen.
That's right.
We're committed to getting it out.
Yeah.
Right? So
I believe you've been digging for some questions, correct? What we got?
Before we got on the stream and before we were sitting here and preparing for this, I had a quick look at Reddit where we posted as well. I've got like 2-3 questions-ish. One of the comments, or I think the general sentiment on Reddit is a bit like, well, we've seen posts like these before. How are you going to make sure that this post is actually different? How are we going to deliver on that? And then a personal question for me more so is just like, will we see you, for example, back on the couch or in a blog to follow up on what we're saying here?
That's right. It's about getting our batting average up on trust. Sorry, that's more of maybe a American Canadian kind of thing, but we've got to make improvements on the trust front, right? Part of that is being empathetic and making sure that empathy is kind of infectious and supporting people around you. As to actually, can I back up for a second to the beginning of the question? I want to hit that one.
We've seen it in the past a lot.
Oh, yes.
How are we going to...
Yeah, it's following through on commitments, right? We often have been in a position where we say something, whether it's good intentions or sloppy or unpolished. The fact of the matter is that we got to break these patterns, and that's what I've been discussing with the team. How do we follow up on hitting dates? Even like a video for next week where we can talk more openly about MTX. There's a lot of things that are precursor to that, and finding time. So it's like sometimes I can be a blocker on the community team. It's like, hey Ryan, you gotta get the post out together. You find time to get it. It's like, yeah, I totally want to do it, but it gets the juggling act. But it's following through on commitments. It's going to be harder in the beginning, but the intent is getting that batting average up. There is part 2 to that first question.
Will we see you again on the stream?
Oh yeah. See me again. So the way I foresee this kind of happening from here on out is it's like, if I'm teeing up another discussion, another video, or the community team is kind of teeing something up, I want to take a look at what the discussion is in the community, and want to look at all the different sources to that, not just one area. I think that's pretty important. We have a great player base in Reddit, of course, and we have a lot of hardcore users. But I also have to balance that out by thinking about the players that we don't have yet, and the new blood, and making sure that we're making the right game for them as well. After we get a couple more videos and discussions underway, I'd like to circle back again and continue sharing those thoughts, and then get it in written form and circulate it as well. I think that's important.
Okay.
Obviously, what I mentioned as well, it's in the news post, but we actually have a direct email address where they can get to you.
Yeah, it's askmodwarden@jagex.com. And what do we get our first email already? Asking for photos of my toes. So why not, right? But it's
classic.
This is our community. This is what we appreciate from all of you, asking the right questions to all of us.
That's right.
Keep it up. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
going to be a new playground for us, right? And really, not everybody feels comfortable in asking a question in public, and this will be more of a one-to-one thing. And logistically, it'll be challenging to kind of keep eyes on it all the time. And it's not a player support avenue or anything of that nature, but it's just. Hey, I want to ask Warden about something. I want to ask the team something specific. I care about X, Y, and Z, and if it's important, we'll bring it back to the discussion.
Yeah, it's a new avenue we're exploring, right? To figure out if that's a nice, meaningful thing we can add for our feedback and relaying things back to you.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Sounds good.
All right. We've also got one of the comments that was very direct. Which was from HobbyRS on Reddit. So in other words, membership is going to go up from like $11 to like 20. Anything you want to add on that?
Well, I've got no plan to increase membership,
Cool.
And if I were ever in that position, I'd have to justify the value and sell that thought to the community.
Sorry, right. I just need to rephrase. I just want to rephrase something very quickly. So just to clarify, what Porky meant when he said, Porky was quoting a comment where he has said that the truth is not membership, is that membership is not alone sufficient to keep the game healthy and evolving, and would that mean membership has to go up?
Yes, that was the follow-up on that.
Just to clarify.
Yes, it was part of that, exactly. So there was, I'll jump on that then. One of the sentences was like, the truth is that membership alone is not sufficient to keep the game healthy and evolving. And then it's like, does it mean we're going to increase membership?
Yeah.
Or like, old school seems to be doing it fine. Why is that potentially not the case for RuneScape? Or
Here's the other piece. You know, we have free-to-play players as well, right? And we have to serve and build a game and product for them as well. And to do that, that's not generally a membership path for those players. Everybody can partake in RuneScape in different ways, and that's where I want to land.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, archaeology is pushing the free-to-play cap to 20 as an example, like of trying to kind of give them a little bit more as well, which should be good to see how that goes. So, you know, it's one of the steps as well. So, yeah, should be interesting to see how it goes.
Did any of you see like a good question in chat or questions about it in particular? Or should we move on?
I mean, for what it's worth, so just an FYI if you're all watching, we're kind of on a time limit because our IT team upstairs need to do maintenance across the office, and it will mean the stream gets turned off. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, our stream suddenly turned off, and we didn't know why. It was because the IT team were doing maintenance and we didn't spot it, so we don't want to get caught out by that yet again. But I think as a quick intro, I think we're okay there, and obviously we have the email. You guys obviously be going back and forth on his emails and trying to reply where possible.
So I'll be around in maybe a couple weeks' time or so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cheers. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Warden. Yes, you made sure to take the microphone off. That's good. Some people just don't do that.
I already forgot about that.
Alrighty, so I'm going to ask the web team to come over. Now, you guys can be wondering, man, what's this? The web team coming to join us on the stream? Yes, this is a very exciting time. Come on, guys, let's go. So the web team wanted to come on stream, and in the sense of this stream being a showcase of content, the web team, albeit not taking part in the Epic Jam, so to speak, they wanted to show off something very cool that they did for Runefest. And in addition, have you guys all got microphones first? That's the key question.
You can sit here over it, otherwise. Got one more. I feel very lonely anyway.
It's fine. Yeah, right. Clip on. So first of all, to my right, we have Mod. Sorry.
Consuela.
Okay.
Mod All-Star. And Mod Aves.
All right, so you guys make a part of the web team, and you guys have a PowerPoint to show us. Is that correct?
Way to make it sound patronising.
Yeah. No,
These things still exist in this era.
Great, thanks. Yeah, this is exciting.
Oh, that's a great clip, that, please. I like that as like a GIF
What's
or an
the meaning
image.
to be? I was trying to be hype and exciting. Boy.
Mod Ave, not what some people are putting in chat.
Yeah, Mod A, AVE, Mod A, Mod Av, I don't know. Anyway, all right, are we good to bring up the PowerPoint, please, Shed?
Yes, mate.
All right, let's bring it up.
Okay.
There you go. All right, what we got?
Boom.
Okay, so this is basically a bit of wholesome show and tell. Every year, we web developers like to do something special for Runefest. And this year is no exception. Last year we did a talk about our team's history. We're quite often hidden behind the scenes, tinkering away at quite internal stuff, so not a lot sort of reaches the players very visibly. But we still have a passion for that kind of communication, and we want to be doing more sort of visible public things. So to that end, this year we had a neat little idea. It's basically a digital guest book for RuneFest, a map of Gielinor that players could go and leave their favorite memories from having played RuneScape. So it was called RuneFest Memories, and it looked like this. So you could leave a message anywhere on the map.
Where was you putting this message to? Where did you click to do this? Is it died here too many times? Wilderness, presumably?
Yeah, I think it was actually, or it might have been trying to navigate my way through White Wolf Mountain after membership. So yeah, it was something in the website. We promoted it on Twitter via the RuneFest Twitter handle, and also we put it in the RuneFest app. And I've got a video of what it looked like, just sort of panning around.
Ooh. So these are all players who, from RuneFest, have put in their memories in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got people talking about barrows. We had both of the game maps, because they've sort of diverged. Yeah, I found it scary, man. So yeah, so we promoted it inside of the RuneFest app, and it worked on mobiles. Do you want to talk a bit about the platform aspect?
Yeah, so I guess one of the biggest questions we often get is what we actually do. So we've actually been phenomenally busy implementing a much better, much more modern tech stack, and it's that really cool sort of tech stack that allows us to prototype ideas like this really quickly. So this is all written on our brand new platform, which we're hoping to roll out to more of the game websites and hopefully give you guys a better experience when you're on that website, rather than the sort of slightly dated one now. I'm going to be nice about it and just leave it at that.
So this kind of project lets us try out new technologies. It helps us collaborate with people internally, build relationships with people where we can sort of have a back and forth between departments like our creative guys and player support. We need to shout out Mod Steve W and Mod Dare for helping out with the moderation aspect of this, because there were sort of largely positive messages. There were a few people who who tried to slip some negativity in there, and we wanted none of that. But for the most part, it was lots of really lovely, wholesome messages from people reminiscing about times when they were kids and they were playing the game, or sort of shouting out their clan members from days gone by, or even still playing today. And I think it's nice to sort of look back and reflect.
You said nearly 80% of them, over 80% were positive actually when we look back through the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Well done, guys.
So we had a little time lapse of so I think this is the old school map, and this was over the course of the weekend at RuneFest, just all of the messages flooding in. That's amazing. You can see these little clusters. It was quite interesting looking at it afterwards. Some people have flamed their friends on the graveyard in the wilderness. They've added names of people they PK'd. Some people have left Swampletics references around around Mauritania and things like that. So yeah, it was nice to see. A few people had written that they were drowning in the ocean, which I don't think is possible in the game. Somebody referenced sailing at some point.
One of those pins in the sea was actually a friend of mine when I used to work on the QA team.
Oh, yeah.
And I teleported his test account out into the ocean.
I saw that
and he was convinced it was a game bug, and it was just me in the background just moving around. It was Mod
Yeah,
Graham,
I thought so.
He didn't see the funny side of it.
No, I could imagine not. So we had some of our favourite messages to share.
Okay. I was just like, let's read. Okay, cool.
I don't know if maybe
Too eager.
Do you want to share reading some? We just got a few.
Are we reading messages? This is what we're doing.
We can do.
All right, let's do it. Go on.
Okay.
You have to be quick.
Am I
First,
starting?
go on. No.
Yeah, we'll go like that. I don't know.
So organized.
Yeah.
On point today.
Okay.
First day as members, a random level 100 encountered me and walked with me all the way to the gnome stronghold to teach me agility. That's very wholesome.
Aww.
That's very wholesome.
We gave you that.
It was 2006 and I was so excited to finally get access to my first skill. In my third exploration, I died to the tower archers and lost all my GP. Vowed never to play the game again. Obviously, I'll write back the next day. Yeah, fair enough.
So we've got killing cows endlessly with someone I'd met a bit earlier, hoping it would magically spawn the MIME event back in 2004, and we still talk day by day to this very day. which is lovely. All stuff.
I spent hours fishing here with various people that became great friends. It's also where me and my nan spend most of our in-game time together. Well, fantastic.
Shorty?
Oh, nice. I got this one place. Well, season finale soon to Nice. So I just want to add a quick point. I mean, yeah, let's just go for it. But for those of you saying that, you know, let's move on and so on, like, this is, the web team, in my opinion, don't get enough appreciation externally to you guys as players, what they do. So we thought, you know, we give them an opportunity to actually just come on and actually share what they've enjoyed working on. So you can all bitch at me about that if you want to. I really, honestly don't care because these guys work their ass off for it. Like, and I think it's nice for them to show it. So,
this is the first time you're saying that, and you're just going to leave us next week.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact I'm leaving.
Is this how it works?
But honestly, I think, you know, it's nice to now have the opportunity to do it, you know? So, yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to digress.
No, that's fine. Well, thanks for the impromptu praise. We were considering wearing I Heart Shawnee t-shirts and sort of unveiling them on stream or something. So we're hoping that this kind of thing in the future represents us kind of taking a more kind of public stance on how we do communication with people. We want to be more out there. We want people to ask us questions. You can find us on Twitter, for example. Yeah, just a step in the right direction, I think, for web developers at Jagex. And this is the kind of experience that we want to promote. We want to come up with better ideas in the future for the kinds of content we can give people on the web.
Awesome.
Well, adding to that, I believe you guys are also actively trying to work a bit closer with the community at the moment right now and making a bit more information potentially accessible to them and figuring out what they want and hopefully supporting that, which I think is really good and great.
You see me lurking on some Discords at the moment, but
Reddit.
But yeah. So yeah, that was our experiment for Runefest.
Thank you, and is that everything? Yeah. Awesome. Well, there we go. Well, no, I thought it'd be nice to get these guys, because these guys came to me and were like, you know, we quite like to talk about this stuff that we've done, and I thought it was really cool for Runefest, so, you know, why not, right? So thank you guys, that was awesome.
No worries.
Okay. So Ashes, I'm actually going to get you to come on next. I know you were towards the end of the stream, but you've been waiting there the entire stream, and I kind of feel bad. Come on, you're coming on. So we're going to get Ashes to join us from the mobile team. Cause,
we're going to do that first now?
Yeah, let's do that first. Why not?
Change the stream.
I'm going to change it because...
That's what he does on his last week.
Because it's not my last week yet. Not yet.
Last stream?
Yeah,
second to last
stream. My penultimate stream. This,
penultimate stream.
We have an announcement to make for mobile, ladies and gentlemen.
I get to drop the ball.
So Mod Ashes is joining me. First of all, how are you doing?
Hopefully all right.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
All good.
Getting the thumbs up from John, so we're all good.
Why does that monitor keep turning off behind us?
No idea.
Because this studio hates me.
Shed's not having a good day today.
All right. So, how you doing, Ashes?
I'm doing very well.
So, I know someone else is meant to come on stream, but they didn't want to, and they've passed the baton over to me. So,
yes.
what are we announcing?
Mobile.
Mobile.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously at Runefest, at the end of our keynote, we did say that mobile would be coming to members later this year.
For early access?
For early access, yeah. So members only, but essentially to anyone that can have membership on Android. I will state that quite frantically. We are still working on iOS, actively working on it. So I've come with a big announcement today that we are allowing members to come on to the Android platform as of next week, next Tuesday, the 29th. That is 29th, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
on.
I just know the day.
You did the rehearsal perfectly.
Yeah, so to confirm, Tuesday
Yes.
the 29th, we essentially go early access for RuneScape Mobile.
Yes.
And all Android, people who have Android.
People with Android can get hold of it. Yep, no more cap, no more limit. Everyone can get hold of it, but you must have members to enter. That's the only
iOS
stipulation.
later this year.
Cool.
That's a proof copy.
No, are you sure?
I saw you were looking
Yeah, I
at
was
me
like, are you Luke?
panic.
Bob, what are you doing?
It's all right. We're fine.
So obviously that comes with that. Next Tuesday is going to be a very awesome day for that as well.
Yes.
I actually asked ahead of time, can I be the person who presses the button to do that? And they said yes, so yay. I get to press
Oh,
the
I thought
button.
you were doing a game update.
Oh, I'm doing that as well.
You're doing both of them?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm being
get you.
very greedy. But yeah, no, I get to press the button that makes it so early access is available to everyone on Android, which is awesome. And obviously for you, for those of you on iOS, of course, we know you guys want it, but it is not quite ready yet. So
Still got a bit more development to do on it, just to make sure it's stable.
So,
That's kind of
in
kicking us
regards,
the bar at the moment.
so also, we want to mention. I think we're going to talk about the mobile founders pack as well. while
Oh,
we're here.
yes.
Do you know the
Love that.
details, or shall I take that?
I know of details.
Go on.
Along with the mobile release, we are also releasing a founders pack, which you can get from mobile, purchase while on the mobile, which will give you access to a new emote, a new set of armor, and a new pet.
That's what I've got here.
Purchase, or is it for free?
Is it? It's for free, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware,
Yes,
it is.
it's a free.
But I thought the word purchase was
I forgot.
interesting.
I forgot that part.
My hair out, honestly. Oh my god, yeah, it's a free. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
on free login, and
Yes.
of course you guys are going to say, what about iOS? Are they going to get it? And as far as I'm aware,
They should definitely.
Like, yeah.
There's no reason why they wouldn't. So yeah, it's just obviously it just means they have to wait till it
so
becomes available.
even if you have an iOS, go get someone's Android phone when it releases. Log in on your account. You can get the mobile founders pack. Just saying. Just a
Totally
quick.
works.
Just a
That's not how it works. No, it does
well,
work like
I mean,
that.
you could totally do that.
The app is locked to the Android. It's not locked to your account, so you can log on to many different phones as you wish.
So
But
yeah.
make sure you log
Once
out
at a
as well.
time. Yeah.
Afterwards. Log out afterwards so your friends can't steal your bank and everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
obviously.
I probably should
Safety
have probably should have made that
Definite
quite
safety
clear.
message,
As a heads up as well, obviously, I know you came on stream to make that announcement, but how is mobile in general going? Obviously, it
Yeah,
must be
really well.
exciting.
Yeah, definitely. We've been pretty excited for this to come. We were hoping it would come a little bit earlier than it has, but it's still within a time frame we're very happy with. The actual interface and the way it's acting at the moment for Android as I said, we're really happy, which is why we're allowing this to happen. We've still got a bit more to do, so obviously all feedback is welcome once you get on it. I primarily sit on Discord in the RuneScape channel in the mobile section. I'm quite active on there, so if you do happen to have that and want to release anything, any anger issues, any issues that you might have,
Positive feedback.
feel free to at me on the Discords, and as of Tuesday, I will more than likely spend a good amount of time sort of collating all of that and working it all back.
And on Tuesday, we'll also create our Reddit thread. We'll also open a forum section
Of
again.
course. Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
I'll let you man the forum sections. Yeah.
I'm on it.
Sorry, I can't help you anymore, unfortunately.
I manage the forums.
Awesome. Thank you, Ash.
That's all right.
Okay, are you guys good to go? All right, so we are now going to get the ball rolling on some Epic Jam stuff to show. I know the stream was mentioned as an Epic Jam showcase, but we started off with a double echo somehow for a couple of minutes. And then I thought I'd take an opportunity to go through the post that Mod Warden put live today, which you can read on RuneScape.com. And then we thought we'd get the web team on to talk about that and then make the big mobile announcement that Android Early Access begins
I was
from
hoping
next
I'd be the
Tuesday.
last kind of mic drop of the
Yeah,
stream,
but I didn't.
God damn it,
You've
Shawnee.
literally been sat here. I don't know why you were told to come down from the start.
Oh, I wasn't.
No.
I made the conscious decision myself to come down and just listen in.
Well, that's my fault. I didn't want you to be waiting.
No, it's fine.
all the time.
Porky literally said to me, "Come down like later." It was my choice to come down and sit and listen to
blame
everything.
Shawnee.
To answer that one question, I've still got one more stream, and that's next Tuesday, so I'm here for one more. But without further ado, we're going to get ready to get the ball rolling on some stuff from the Epic Jam, and to start us off, we are going to be focusing on the PvM Hub. Let's throw it over to those guys, and I'll go join them in just a second.
Hello. Right, are we on? Are we good?
Good.
Okay, sweet, cool. So we're probably going to talk a bit about the design process and what we worked on, but just for anyone that wasn't or hasn't tuned in already, seen what we've been working on. We've essentially tried to work on a PvM hub as quick as, I say quick, as lightweight as we can get it in sort of a sprint, which for us is 2 weeks. So I should probably introduce myself. I'm Mod Ryan.
I'm Mod Diego.
I'm not crazy.
And
And I'm Mod Shawnee, coming in,
Nice to meet you,
just
Shawnee.
barraging in. Yes.
Sorry, can you?
That's
you
fine.
good?
No, I can see
good?
you all good.
Okay, sweet. So I'm just going to take you through what we've got so far, and then talk about it as we go through it. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm in Death's office here. There's this convenient door on the left here, which right now isn't that obvious, but we're going to go through here. And you arrive in this, which is currently being called the Garden of War. I forgot to. I showed this. I showed this earlier, but this is War. I should probably.
Yeah, do a comparison.
Let me show you what War actually looks like. I apologize. He looks like this. This is War from he's one of the Four Horsemen. So we felt that he is a convenient sort of owner of the PvM Hub, which, as I mentioned, is called the Garden of War currently. He has no armor on. You can ask Mod Warden about that. That's fine. But yeah, so there's quite a bit to show. So we'll kind of just take you through it, like the aim and sort of what we tried to get. Talk a bit about max skill because I know people have questions. Do you guys want to talk before I talk loads?
No,
you sure?
Carry on.
Good?
Go for it.
So essentially what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a hub for all players who are interested in bossing. Right now, boss portals are currently restricted to the max guild, which of course is a very high requirement for convenience when bossing, which a lot of players will see as a definite must if you're going to go bossing. So what we tried to do is create a hub which is accessible by every player. But within the hub, you can sort of gain unlocks, progression through it. And yeah, so I'll take you through it.
Just to answer I'll jump in when I see some questions. This area is not sharded. There's various reasons. We went through possibilities of it being in instances and whatnot, and we decided not to, primarily because of adrenaline gain. Otherwise, you'll be... when you go through the portal to go to the boss, it'll take you out of the shard and you'll lose your adrenaline and whatnot. But yeah, it's not sharded.
Yeah, cool. So I'll kind of take you through the experience. Like as a new player or a player who hasn't been to the hub yet, if I just arrived here, of course this is a work in progress. You will get an intro from War and he'll sort of explain everything. But you have, in this opening area, you have a bank chest. You've got a campfire. This campfire at the moment, you'll notice, only has a warm hands option. So if I do that, you will see I gain the bonfire boost from this. The bonfire boost is 7 minutes because that's the default boost for normal logs. So you'll find that War has a shop, which has an upgrade section where you can essentially upgrade this campfire. It costs Marks of War, which is something we'll talk about in a moment, as well as an amount of logs. So at the moment, this is all placeholder in terms of balancing, but we've said it requires 1,000 logs. It also requires the previous tier campfire, so if you wanted an elder campfire, you need 1,000 oak, 1,000 willow, etc.
You probably don't want to panic sell your logs considering you need 1k of them. Just an FYI there.
True. But yeah, so you can upgrade your campfire. It essentially gets it to the maximum, and then you warm your hands on it. So every hour or however long, you just come in, warm your hands, off you go. Sorted your bonfire boost.
Panic buy logs. Oh, you guys.
Yeah, so yeah, we got that. Bank chest. This giant thing on the left is currently sort of something that I want to say Mod Alex, Mod Alex, our environment artist, smashed this all out. It's amazing. But so he's created this on the left, which is essentially our altar of War. If
that looks amazing.
If Mod Breezy set this up correctly, well, okay, slightly advanced here. It's so this altar is an unlock. Breezy's account, it already says he's worthy to use it. As a player who arrives, you may not have access. To gain access to this, you will see in here, unlock to the Altar of War requires, at the moment, 200 boss kills, so a total amount of 200 boss kills to unlock the altar. This means that players who are already boss fanatics, on release you will have, as you can see on screen, access to the hub teleport, access to the second portal that's here, access to the altar itself, and an adrenaline crystal, which I will also talk about. But for any player just getting into bossing, these are sort of progressive unlocks, with the plan to add more to this. To answer the chat, numbers are completely placeholder. They don't necessarily mean anything right now. But yeah, if I was to unlock the altar, this works for prayer and summoning, similar to the max skill.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that any players who already have the max guild have the same benefits on release of the project coming here straight away, and anyone who doesn't have access to those sort of amenities can come here and have that progression track, because this is immediately a better place for them for their PvMing needs.
Do you need to unlock every log unlock in order?
Yeah. Yes.
You do, okay.
Yeah. So Yeah, so I'll try to cover some more, but yeah, ultimately Hub Teleport, it will probably be the first thing you unlock regardless of how many kills it is, it will be the first thing. We want these, so the difference between kills and marks is that marks don't exist in the game right now, so the things that are unlocked through marks, as you can see here, for example, upgrades are things that everyone should be aspiring to get on release, whereas we've tried to make unlocks for kills things that some of you may have already done. Which means those of you that are, as I mentioned, boss fanatics, you'll basically have access to the full amenities of the hub on release. Yep. So yeah, in terms of the teleport, just unlocked it. Where is my ribbon?
Bottom left, bottom left.
By the chat box.
Oh, sorry, I've got a big mic in front of me. Yeah, so the Garden of War teleport appears in the spellbook, similar to the other spells that you get for Completion Escape, Max Escape, etc.
No rune requirements.
Yeah, no rune requirements, which solves the issue that we've discussed in the past about why Max Skill Teleport is actually really useful, because you were obviously wearing the Max or Completion Escapes before this became a thing.
It should be easy. You know, you finish your boss trip, you can come straight back here to start gearing without worrying about getting back. It's also located in Death's office, so if you die, you can go straight back through.
Yeah, conveniently, if you die, you just come straight back through the door. But yeah, so there's some of the natural things in the front of the hub. Of course, we moved down here, which, do you want to talk a bit about level design at all?
Yeah, so a lot of the level, sorry, can't even speak. A lot of the level design process was looking at how players currently use the Max Guild, and looking at how players sort of like during bossing sessions, how they flow in and out of the Max Guild as they go and kill a boss, teleport, come back, check their presets, pray, etc., and then use the portal again. We wanted to make that process just as smooth, if not better, than the Max Guild, so that so that the PvM Hub has a use. So, in terms of this immediate area right here, it's basically access to everything that you would normally have, and then you can either surge or bladed dive to your portals, and then use those. So as Mod Warden's kind of showing, you'll teleport in, use your bank, use the campfire if you have to. And then come down to the portals, bladed dive or surge to whichever portal. We just wanted to make that easy and smooth.
So I'll talk a bit about the portals. One of the portals, the second one on the right, is an unlockable portal. We'll make this more obvious, of course. As I mentioned, this is a work in progress. But you have access to the portal on the left, which you can attune similar to how you can attune the portal in the Max Guild. I updated this interface. I still want to, if there was time, I still want to add some more stuff to it, like favorites, or try to make it more user-friendly. But this is the interface for picking a boss. We don't currently have this implemented, but what we're looking to do is make it so that to attune a portal to a boss here, you must have at least one kill on that boss. So you must go out in the world to, say, find Calfight Queen before you can attune a portal to Calfight Queen. And then once you attune the portal to, let's just say, pick Calfight King, for example.
It's probably bugged right now, but we'll ignore that.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't have coins, so it won't do it.
Oh, you don't have coins?
You don't have coins?
Coins. They're all in my backpack.
Yeah, I see.
Saving up for that sauce, you know.
Okay, so
It's hiding how poor he is.
let's pick. Okay, we'll pick Telos. But if I pick Telos, it costs 100k, which is what the Max Guild was originally. It's a similar function as before, so you can attune this portal to Telos. So something we're trying. This is all still a work in progress, but we're trying to make it so that. I mean, this is super bright, but the idea is that the portal actually looks like where you're going to.
It's nice.
It's definitely like, I'll even make the, I'll teleport back. But the idea would be that you could actually see, you know, this is my Telos portal, this is my Virago portal. Yeah, portal works exactly as before.
There is small differences now in that the boss portals here at the PvM Hub don't have the 4 random Slayer creatures to make against Erets and stuff. The ones in the Max Guild still have them.
Yeah, so this is just a list of bosses.
And we've also reordered the list by their release date. So
Was there a consideration to alphabetize them?
yes, but then the order will constantly change when we add a new boss in, so things will shuffle. Whereas if they're done by release order, people can just add to the bottom and you'll know on login it's bottom of the list.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. What Mod Iago was just saying about tuning. So we have the middle portal, which is a Reaper portal. This is a new portal in itself. This would always take you to your active Reaper. Do you have a Reaper?
I was going to say, I don't think so.
No.
You're gonna have to give me
no,
some.
I can't reach this. Fine, let's have a look. Oh, you don't have a Reaper assignment.
This is my account from like days ago. So.
The chat is now judging you. But yes,
okay.
I'm sure you can
I'll
figure
take
out
it.
what the Reaper portal does,
Sorry.
which is exciting.
Well, 2 Chaos Ellie. Yes. So, ironically, the only one that doesn't have a portal is Chaos Ellie, because it's in the wilderness, didn't exist. So that was a very interesting task to give me.
Covering all these.
Oh, you get
There
to
you go,
pick.
that's
Right, we go
premium.
Kriara. Yeah, you can trust me. And ta-da, Kriara.
So you don't have to keep retuning your portal just if you want to do a Reaper. You now have a
Yeah.
dedicated portal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what we are thinking about doing is maybe making an alternative to the Reaper. So like on release of a new boss, this portal can be changed to be the new boss. It's like a focus. Or if we ever do, say, seasonal high scores or those sorts of things or events, this portal can be changed to that so that on release, we'd still probably have to do 1 kill, but after that,
Yeah.
you know, we allow people to just like really focus on the new content.
We're also discussing the idea of potentially doing a seasonal type portal, which again might cover new bosses, and it might cover, if we run seasonal high scores to, you know, the fastest Virago kills, then it'll be permanently attuned to Virago.
Nice.
Cool. Sorry, I was thinking, so I don't know if you just said this. In terms of attuning, the cost is 100k right now. We want to make it so that once you have the
100kc.
the 100kc, so final boss requirement, in that the boss is related to this portal, it's free.
Oh wow, okay.
So you can get Kriara for free once you have 100 Kriara
There's
kills.
still 1 or 2 questions just sort of probably around like the likes of Barrows, because obviously there's only one portal
Yeah.
for Barrows. Raids, there's 2 bosses, 1 portal, but they're just finer details which we'll figure out at a later date.
And obviously 100, 100
Change
isn't
it to
necessarily
next.
the amount.
Change the boss next.
Yeah.
Like, that can change as well. Do these KC requirements apply to the max guild stuff?
No.
No.
Max Guild remains as it is in terms of functionality. However, Max Guild Portal is now free.
To attune.
Yeah,
attune.
to anything. Yep. So it means that players who are max have access to 3 portals, one of which is always free. That's the current thing we want to do to the Max Guild. There obviously have been, people mentioned in the chat and people have been tweeting us about devaluing Max Guild. I'll just reiterate something I mentioned in one of the responses, but we believe that to lock boss portals behind maxing is not a great design decision. We've reevaluated that. So removing that from the Max Guild, yes, it does remove what people have considered the purpose of getting Max in the first place. But I mean, as a future project, I mean, I'd love to readdress the Max Guild and do more around that to do with maxing and skills in general.
And achievements, and we'll obviously go on to discuss what we've done with achievements at the guild later on. But we'd like to do a similar thing with the Max Guild as we have here. But for skills, not for bossing.
Yeah.
What have we got up here? Oh, okay. Well, that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, quick thing, comment in the chat, why use PvM Hub if Max Guild Portal is free? PvM Hub actually has better amenities overall, like once you unlock it all. Also, it's a hub, so it's not just about, I mean, there are players who care about efficiency, but it's also for meeting other players who are just getting into bossing. It's like a find new friends, you know, like it's a very focused point of talking about it. And in the future, we'd plan to have like notice boards here. You know, the dream is notice board that has all seasonal high score data on it, if there are any.
It's like a social, it's a social PvM,
space,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Eventually integrating it within the. We've actually done a little bit of work with Ryan. Ryan will go on to show. With the grouping system, so it might be a thing where if you're looking for a group, you can come to the PvM Hub whilst also using the grouping system, queuing system.
Yeah. So someone mentioned, will there be a PvM Hub world? There will be, as in we're going to make a themed world for it.
Nice.
Which means you don't obviously have to use it, but it's a nice place to go to if you're just looking for players or if you just want to look into getting into bossing.
I've seen a question keep being asked about what are those crystals next to the portals?
Okay, I will cover that. So this top section, quick thing, it's kind of basically Combat Academy. You can come up here, you can test your max here, you can spawn your dummies, it's the same deal. Come up here, talk to a bunch of people about min-maxing, testing new weapons, etc.
Can you sit on those benches?
You cannot.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Dream.
That would be amazing.
Dream.
So if we come back down to the front, so these crystals, that was the adrenaline crystal I mentioned, which at the moment's config does 1,000 kills, which I unlocked it. Didn't even realize I unlocked it. But you'll notice my adrenaline bar on the left. So these adrenaline crystals, essentially once you've gained access to them, you can channel them, and they'll channel you up to 100% adrenaline. So now I'm 100% adrenaline, and then you can go through your portal. It considers stuff for the high level players that care a lot about being able to use defensives for adrenaline. It's all working as you'd expect.
Are you worried about the dummies now? Can
No.
essentially mean no? Okay. Why?
No.
I mean,
So
why?
you'll have occasions. So obviously, before you unlock these, you'll be using them. There's also instances like, let's say AOD, where you don't come back here after every kill. You leave the instance, you go to the bank in the next bank, and then you place a dummy to get your adrenaline back up, and then go back in.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like if, especially
Cool.
group bosses, you're not gonna try and organize all, let's say 7 people to go back to the hub to use the adrenaline crystal to then. But if that's more convenient for them, then they can use that.
Yeah.
And
Because
this
it's an unlock.
and
they-
this crystal is a
they don't-
PvM hub thing only.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
clarify that.
So yeah, I mean, just a quick clarification, some stuff that Modiago said. I think that there is plenty of uses for invention dummies outside of this. This is a specific use case which helps, and it does you'll probably see people putting dummies down here anyway for those that don't have the requirement for this crystal yet, because we don't, it may be way more than 1,000 kills, who knows. Yeah, okay, so that's some cool stuff. So this other player over here is my other account.
Now we're gonna find out why your character's over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Everyone's been asking, well, what's up with the person over here? What's this?
So I looked into the grouping system a bit. It does require a lot more work. Like overall, I'd love to do a lot more with the grouping system and properly integrate it. But like long term, I'd like to integrate it way more into bossing in general. So some stuff that I just just started working on. So if I just create a group here, you'll notice now that I have a head icon.
Nice.
It's just a grouping system icon right now, but the idea is that other people can see that I'm now in a group. At the moment, it's only in this area of the PvM hub. It could be throughout the whole game, but I've only done it here for now, just in case.
So like
test it out.
looking for groups area.
Yeah, essentially.
basically. Okay.
So when I walk into this area over here, this will be better. Sorry, this area is not done graphically, but you can see I'm now in a group. So which means the moment that this other player can see me, can see I'm in a group, maybe ask me what group, like, hey, can I join? Similarly, we've added invite ops, so I can invite him. Unfortunately, I can't accept that.
Is there a way to see specific? Like I'm in a group, but like, is there a way I can see what this person's doing?
Yes. So the other thing that I looked at adding, so I've only implemented it for Virago as an example. Did I just misclick? So if I go to Virago and I update my group, you'll see my head icon is something completely different.
Oh,
But if we had the correct
Amazing.
graphics, that would say Virago, or it'd be a picture of Virago so other people can see. I mean, you should get like little clusters of groups of people around here. This is the idea, right? And if I ready up my group, okay. If I was to ready up my group in a group, when it says, would you like to
The
complete
pop-up
your
box,
group?
yeah.
If I complete my group, the icon goes away.
nice.
So, I mean, it's to play with it really. Like we can add different icons to say like is in a readied group. There's all sorts of stuff we can do with it. Essentially, I was just
That is
using some time to prototype.
That is such a useful way, like to help with people who are finding groups to do bossing in. Like just visually, they can see now. Like that is
So
so.
hopefully
good.
with a themed world. PvM
Yes.
Hub.
Yeah. Yes.
Anybody new coming into the game or working into combat, they can come here, know they're looking for a group, and that's kind of part of the aims of the project. There's still work to be done.
Someone
But,
said maybe what about having a green check mark above your head to
Yeah, it
indicate
could
you're
be.
ready?
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean
That's
yeah.
fine. At the moment, because of the functionality we have, we don't have the ability to only show head icons to people in your group.
I
So
see.
everyone in this whole area, you will see head icons everywhere, which is not a problem necessarily. But that's the thing. That's why I've only enabled it like within this area. So if we do release it, we test it out, we get feedback. Maybe we do want to put it into the whole game. I don't know. We'll see. Cool. Do you, Breezy? Do you want to talk about achievement?
Oh,
area?
we got more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Is that right?
No,
We good?
no. It's not a bad thing. It's more of a
Yeah.
surprise.
Sure.
There's a whole other half that we haven't really shown yet, and this is the achievements area. So there's a lot of achievements in PvM. Some might say not enough, but there's a lot of like different things like pets and sometimes combat outfits and stuff like that. So what we want to do is kind of give a way for people to show that off to some extent. So this right here is my account. I've got
So these
all-
are your actual. This is your. If this is your account in this right now, this is your collection.
Yeah. Some of the pets in the background I gave myself, but these God Wars Dungeon pets right here are mine. So I've got all 4 of the God Wars Dungeon pets for both God Wars Dungeon 1 and 2.
If this was mine, the only thing I'd see is the Telos pet.
Yeah. But so what's nice about this is if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of pets or you're just starting out, you'll come here and all your pedestals will be sort of empty. But as like throughout your RuneScape career, if you want to call it that, you'll see this sort of build up. And,
I love that.
And see more pets, and you can actually right click and examine them as well. just to show the KC, so they just work as usual.
So presumably this is something only you can see on your pedestal.
Yeah, only you can see it. Otherwise, it'd be
pets everywhere.
Otherwise, we'd have to instance it or so.
Yeah.
So it is just your own. But
This
I think
is kind of like pet garden, pet park / garden.
I don't
say
that
Well,
word.
I mean, when I look at it, you walk in, you have essentially your own menagerie, so to speak. But I can actually see everything and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I think the way that I envisioned it in my head when we spoke about it and like in designs was like Batman and Iron Man have their like own like secret bases and they have their outfits and stuff, right? And they have like their outfits, like if you go and show them the armor stands, those are just placeholder. But what we want to do is like sell similar to the Solomon's store mannequins that are sent out the Grand Exchange is put PvM related outfits. So that's like the outfit of Omens, the next AOD chests,
the Nomad's soul capes.
Nomad's soul capes. And make this whole area.
Marathol staff.
Yeah.
If you've unlocked it.
The God Wars Dungeon 2 cosmetics.
That's superb.
Just like be able to show off that like, and then like people will be able to post this onto Twitter or Reddit and people who have IFB will be like, all right, like look at me and it'll be very nice. Ryan, if you actually go up to the God Wars Dungeon area again, if you click on any of the stuff in your inventory,
the pets.
Yeah, the first one. As soon as you get it, it will just pop up in the inventory. So if you just click it, it will.
So you don't have to leave, come back in.
You don't have to like tell you.
We're going to try and group them up within their content. So God Wars are grouped up. And then you could, hopefully we'll see people tweeting like, I've completed my God Wars 1 pet collection and stuff like that.
That's superb.
It's very much so. So the whole art in this area for this, for these pedestals, etc. This is all like probably like a 10-minute job, I imagine, for our environment artist. He went on holiday, so he finished the rest of the hub, and we were getting just to the achievement section. The idea, like we had in our heads, was making these areas out into like a little diorama, like what you'd see in a museum. Of this is the God Wars 1, so you'd have God Wars 1 sort of environment little sections. Same for if we go up to how many Araxi pets do you have? Okay.
So I knocked out everything, but I have 6.
Okay.
I won't lie, that Rax area, just seeing it looks amazing. Wow, that's so.
There's
good.
mega ducks as well, but
it's definitely
work in progress.
Yeah, work in progress. I mean, the general idea is it becomes like a trophy section for screenshots. Long term, the idea would be to make it feel like. You turn around, you have a look. Like we discussed things of the pedestals, maybe potentially trimming them, like gold if you've completed the item log for that boss. There's loads of stuff we discussed.
Just trying to show your achievements outside of interfaces and titles.
You could just imagine like having an entire shot of someone who's done all the logs and all the pets, and you just see it, and it looks amazing. That's awesome.
There's combat skill pets as well. They were at the top. And obviously, like one concern that we have is.
Oh wow, this is bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's quite large.
Yeah, it's quite large.
This looks like a picture fighter area, right? But one thing that we're kind of concerned about is obviously what happens when we 7 years from now and we have I don't know how many new bosses.
How do you expand it?
So we've made it in a way where our environment artists can just sort of just pop on a new sort of raised area and then again add some more pedestals. So it's future proofed to an extent as well.
A few questions about a G in this area. There will not be one.
Cool.
That's cool.
There is one last thing I can think of worth showing. Just for anyone that just joined the stream, PvM Hub. Generally, it's a work in progress. This is a sprint's worth of work, and a couple of us had holiday, etc. Subject to change various bits that we feel is worth changing. Balancing is not in, but something we haven't actually spoken about is Marks of War.
Okay.
So Marks of War are
invention.
Sorry. So if we go in here, you'll see here Marks of War. They're essentially something that War awards you for taking part in boss encounters. So if you were to go and kill, say, Grador, and let's say it actually takes you a minute, I know it doesn't, but let's just say it takes you a minute to kill. War basically tracks that you've done a minute of killing bosses. So in any of the instances where you have a timer on your screen, that time gets tracked behind the scenes, and currently it's plugged in as for every 3 minutes you will earn a Mark of War, which means that for doing 60 minutes of bossing, you'll earn 20 marks. It doesn't matter if during those 60 minutes you killed 100 bosses because you're really good at PvM, or if you've just killed one because you're starting out. You will both get the same amount.
And I presume you guys are fine with AFK-ing a boss with defensives forever and ever and ever too.
Well, there's discussions around it. The thing I think is worth mentioning that you'll only get the time is only tracked if you kill the boss.
You have to finish the
you
But
have
that's
to
so.
finish the
I mean,
boss.
we know, like we've seen in the past, like people have had like 1 hour rax kills because they've used
Yeah.
defensives and so on. So where
So there are still ongoing discussions around that because we do need to look at these places like Fight Caves where you could safe spot and just AFK. Are you really again?
Yeah, I mean,
is there been a
there
consideration for damage? Maybe.
So, yes, and there's this interesting conversation of if you want to sit an AFK boss for 1 hour to get points, the points don't have. I'll show you some things you can spend points on, but they're only for untradeable rewards. The value is only for yourself, which also means that the reward you get for using those points is relevant to killing bosses. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to AFK bosses to get rewards that you're then going to use to kill bosses, if that makes sense. You may as well do an hour of bossing. Like, come on, we all know how much an hour of Telos makes, right? So, like, doing an hour of Telos versus AFKing for an hour, you don't gain anything. In fact, you lose a lot. Like, you're not getting the monetary value of actually looting. Cool. So it is a thing to talk about, but we're not necessarily...
Oh, so it's like essentially an additional time value for what you do. Okay.
So, as I mentioned before, there are upgrades, so we're considering using marks as well as logs. Consumables. So something we have here is...
Yeah, life refresh. Here we go.
Yeah. So we've got aura refreshers here from Soul Reaper, which are your combat aura refreshers, which there is not a daily reset. Sorry, there used to be back when they were released. You can only use one a day.
Yeah.
No longer exists. That's gone.
That's
already gone.
Oh, wow, I thought yeah, because I don't use
that's not a
refreshes
thing.
enough. Oh,
That's
Jesus,
not a
okay.
thing.
I don't have enough refreshes.
So what happens here is like the idea of this. Yes, there are other issues with auras in general that we're aware of, but this is quite a nice way currently of anyone who enjoys PvMing. Your life cycle is doing bosses. Oh no, my aura's run out. I'm going to do something else. Doing bosses for a couple of hours, for example, on aura, you'll probably earn marks of war that you can reinvest into aura refreshers if you wanted to continue to do that boss.
Yeah.
So it means the life cycle, if you just enjoy killing bosses, you'll just constantly reuse your marks on things to kill more bosses, is kind of the life cycle.
The balancing will be considered so that we don't entirely devalue Viswax, as well as still trying to keep some rotation of auras in there, even if it's just once every 2 hours you can afford one of these. So you could still use a Berserk and an hour of Dark Magic or an hour of another before you can go back to your Berserk.
Yeah. It's worth pointing out as well, someone mentioned it in the chat, but these aura refreshers are in the Reaper store. Now, they aren't bought as much as obviously when they were first made, and when we did Reaper, like batch 2 or 3, we lowered the price because we all know that Reaper points have way more value from the Hydrix, right? So it does feel like a good item to move over. There is an argument that we could remove it from the Reaper store if we wanted to. I'd need to get more data on it, but I don't believe many are bought really at all.
We won't remove it.
Yeah.
We won't remove
Sorry,
it.
we won't remove it. Fine.
So I presume Max will work in masses, for example, as well. Is that correct? So if you're doing massable bossing, like you can still get max award as per usual.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
cool.
Any boss that there is a timer on your screen and at the end it says this is your time, you will earn marks. But yeah, sorry, we won't remove it. Don't worry. Thanks.
The panic in the chat.
I know. I forget that like saying it's a consideration is always taken as literal. But yeah, so that's the thing. Obviously, life refreshers. Now that that you can use them in the bank. There's also, if you think about the life cycle of a player just getting into killing bossing, wants to get into bossing, you kind of come to the hub, you start progressing, you learn, you meet people, etc. You're earning marks of war throughout that whole time. You may get to, when people are going for Reaper, the title, or trying to get into Telos, they might use Sign of Life and then they wait an hour.
Yeah.
This is kind of that, like, you can invest your time that you've been spending, like, progressing through bosses to buy a bunch of the life refreshers, keep giving that Telos a go,
Like this
so you
is
get it down.
massive for people who want to do Telos pushing. These, like literally, these items right here, you literally have just significantly changed how like the life of a Telos in Rage Pusher does, like massively, and that's not exactly a bad thing. I think that's awesome. Because like you mentioned, Ryan, like if you're out of life refreshes, you have to wait until you get something, get it from whenever, and then you can start kind of like doing them a lot more. But like having something like this is awesome.
Last thing that someone mentioned Iron Man. Iron Man can do everything here.
They can buy all this stuff as well.
Not sure about all that at the moment. I don't know if they can already. They would probably follow the same rules. as death.
In Reaper,
etc.
they can buy them from Reaper.
But
or
so
as I
can
believe.
Iron Man buy the life refresh? I guess is the key question here.
Right now they can. I mean,
Okay.
if someone convinced me or said not to, I'd be happy to change it. I think guess the thing is it comes through the game. It's a game reward that you earn via training, and I felt, I mean, unless I'm wrong, Ramen's in the chat, but Iron Man there is no restrictions on game content coming live for what Iron Man should and shouldn't have. But yeah, that's up for discussion. I think it's also worth noting there are more unlocks, upgrades, and consumables that we have in mind or things we want to do going forward. Of course, this is like the lightweight version. Thanks, Ramen.
Thanks, Ramen.
But if other people had ideas or things they want, then there's no reason we can't add them.
Send it to us.
Send it, yeah. Consumables, the idea of the consumable section is to help you with your life cycle of like, I just enjoy... We basically added an extra reward for just doing bosses. Doesn't matter what boss. Killing 1,000, like I said, Grador versus 1 Solak an hour does not change the amount of marks you get, so just go out, enjoy.
Okay, so someone just said, you said 1 hour gets 20 marks, you get a life refresh every hour. Obviously, these numbers are not final at all. Just to clarify,
sorry.
let alone what you gain, what you cost, and so on and so forth.
The entire thing is subject to balance.
Yes.
Someone also asked about free to play.
Very good question.
Pretty sure it's members.
I mean,
we haven't had those.
Yeah, we haven't
discussions.
had that discussion.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be opening it up to what, 2 or 3 bosses?
I mean, if we made it free to play, it'd be the same. You couldn't attune portals to members. If you're in a free to play world and you had a members portal, you can obviously re-attune it. Mod Zelda said it's mapped as free to play. But yeah, the free to play bosses, it's not too many that you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's generally the gist of what we managed in a sprint.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Not bad for 2 weeks, guys. Holy
That's
hell.
right.
Jesus.
Yeah. A few shout outs for the people who aren't on stream. There is Mod Alex. There is Mod. I change my name every year.
Changes his mod name every year.
What is his mod name?
It's Mod Phoenix right now.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Or it's Mod Luke F.
Was Mod Luke F.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They are the environment artists on it, and we had. Oh, I forgot the character artist that did the Marks of War.
Mod Deadly.
Mod Deadly, and we've had Mod Cell also helping out on it, and Mod Camel also gave some input.
Cool. That's us. That's the PvM Hub in a nutshell, as you would say.
Hey. And yeah, we're not done yet. I know we are just past, we're now up to 10 past 6, but we do have someone else that Mod Yago and Mod Ramen have been up to during this Epic Jam as well. So I guess we get you to swap.
Sorry, I'll move.
I'm going to disappear as well.
You two can disappear if you want, or
I'll
you can stay. Okay,
I'll stay
cool.
for Entertainment Valley.
Right, are we okay to go back to full screen just a second? I know that shouldn't take long for Yago to set up, but...
I've got it ready.
Alright, he's got it ready.
Have it
Let's
ready.
drag it over.
Cool.
Alright, let's go back in game. Oh, there's the classic ramen messages in chat.
Yes, classic ramen. Let me change my scroll.
Alright, so we're at Solak. Why are we at Solak,
We are
Yago?
at Solak because Mod Ramen for a very long...
good.
Oh,
good.
are we?
Yeah.
So Mod Ramen for a very long time has wanted to... He's actually walking around as... he's wanted to make Solak scalable, so that means we'll be removing duo and group mode as a thing. The minimum amount of people will still be 2, and the max will still be 7.
3, 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
player Solaks.
So
Nice.
there will be a base HP across all modes of 1 million HP, and then for every person there is also 1 million HP. So duo mode is 3 mil HP, 7 man is 8 mil HP.
Gotcha.
So this scales as well across all the NPCs inside the core, etc. So the intention there is to basically make 7 man approximately 16% faster. So I'll jump straight into that and talk about drop rates.
Okay.
So the existing drop rate for duo was 1 in 200 per person. Each
Is that the
player,
first time we've revealed the rate?
not for duo. We've
Okay.
not revealed group. It's probably better we don't.
Cool. Okay.
So that is now going to be the same drop rate across all modes. So 7 people rolling as
What?
1 in 200 per. You're splitting between 7 people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like,
And
oh my god, I might be able to get a drop
The kill times are only 16%, approximately 16% faster. It does change. We've got the data and we know the bandings of
Seeing
how
the kill time.
yeah, how fast certain kills are at what level of PvM. Yeah, Ron was like, don't. So yeah, it'll be 1 in 200. That is the same as what Duo is live right now.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. So I mean, I guess we can jump in and just... Not a lot has changed within the fight. It is worth mentioning that the P4, the final phase, has... In duo mode, we've removed the... We had in live, we removed the concept of killing the manifestations in the mind map.
Okay.
And when you kill them in the mind map in 7-man, they spawn on the base map. We have now removed that. Sorry, we have now added that to all modes.
Okay.
So duo mode has it as well now.
Okay. So duo mode have to now contend with that as well.
It probably won't make much of a difference because a lot of people don't kill them anyway. They kind of tank them. So yeah, we're not really concerned about that. If you have feedback, then obviously send it to myself and Rahman.
I think. Do we want to talk about the light stuff?
Yeah, we will.
Okay. Cool.
They're just getting there now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry.
We'll.
So yeah, well, honestly, I'm so annoyed Rama didn't come on stream.
He did as his.
Yeah, it's Wendy naturally.
So we're gonna speed this up a bit. Tell you what, we don't actually need to do that. 2, cool. So we're gonna advance to phase 2. So Rahman has added point lights.
Okay.
He wanted to do this on launch, but yeah, we weren't able to at the time. So what it means now is you can see as I get closer to the anima eruptions, the light is reflecting.
Oh, look at the graphical. See, it's little graphical things like that, which are
pink.
awesome.
It also obviously
That's
affects Solak. We have this for the cleanse. Obviously, some of it's a little bright now. We'll change some of them. Yeah, thank you, Rahman. The colours matching. So previously, all the colours on all the different spot animes, there was loads of like pinks and purples, and they are now all the same colour, or at least should be. Once I test it.
Oh,
Rahman.
congrats on the pets, Rahman.
Yeah, so that's a thing. Oh.
So was there a consideration for solo of this at all?
It was never designed to be solo.
Gotcha.
A lot of the mechanics would probably need changing, and yeah, no, we don't want it to be solo.
That's fine. And if I remember correctly, based on tweets I saw, the animation for him defending is gone. Is that correct?
That is a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I believe you might want to check Rahman's tweet because I might have misread this because I only saw it on the notification.
I'm pretty sure he has. Yeah.
He said that he had a meeting and it went well with the lead animator who has agreed to remove flinching from all bosses.
So all bosses don't defend animations anymore. Wow. Okay.
They won't have that annoying tweak.
Yeah, because if there's so many people hitting them, and obviously it means you have that quick animation of them doing a defend animation, kind of throws them off a little bit. That's awesome.
Look at the point lights. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I think Rahman also mentioned that not only removing it because it can be a little bit jarring to see what's going on. There's also the argument that they are big bosses, that like the amount of damage you deal with the boss, like it's nicer if they're just constantly wailing on you rather than, doing that flinch. I don't know if you've ever had audio on back in the day of like hearing defend anime audio. It's very, exactly like that.
Impressive. Oh dear.
So that, to be honest, that's pretty much the entire thing.
Cool. I mean, just saying that Solak is now scalable is quite significant in its own right.
Yeah.
So.
All dev on it is done.
Well, wow.
As far as I'm aware, there's obviously some small feedback changes that will come. Still needs testing. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to getting this out. There is one thing to mention is when you leave now. I don't know if I saved that teleport. No, I didn't. If you had loot, there's now only one claim loot option, so there's not a loot.
Claim loots, duo claim loot. Okay.
We've left the functionality in if you have loot for duo mode and 7-man before the update. So if you have loot owed, you'll claim based on the drop rates of those modes, I believe. And then from there on, any kill after will use one loot.
How does HP on the core scale?
So the core has changed from 1 mil in 7-man down to 875k.
Okay.
So it's I think it's 125k per player. and yeah, duo is still the same 250k. So we've not increased duo.
So when it's scaling, what does the core go to then?
For 7-man, it's 875k.
But if we're free player,
But if we're
what's the core health on then?
for 3 players,
Yes.
it's 125k per
Oh,
player.
per player. Sorry, apologies. Sorry, 375k then.
Yeah.
Sorry, derp. My bad. So yeah, is there anything else in that or?
To be honest, I think that is it. Unless Raman has said anything
No,
else.
he said blessing.
Blessing.
Yeah, we good to go live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I failed math. Don't worry. There's a reason why I failed it. To answer someone in the chat there.
Yeah, so we've not changed any of the drop tables other than unbuffing the crossbow drops for 3 to 7 men. And yeah,
Cool.
I'm pretty sure that is everything.
Amazing.
Unless anyone has any questions.
Everyone's saying world record.
Obviously with that we've removed hello,
Oh, the timers.
beasts, yeah, in what? We've removed, okay. No, he hasn't. Ramen. But yeah, we will be removing these timers and stuff, and the quick chats and whatnot. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Can I plug or say something? One thing.
Yeah,
I guess
perfect.
you've got other game jam stuff you show.
I'll just show one thing and that's
Sure.
it, because timing's not on my side, so it's all good.
Someone mentioned in the chat about when is PvM Hub.
Oh yes.
Because it's all game jam projects, there is no like set release date on this sort of stuff. We're kind of experimenting, trying to get what we believe is a good idea, and then get it in front of you guys. Ultimately, getting your feedback and sort of yays and nays for bits in it, and do you want it, that sort of thing is helpful for us. And then we can try and work with that to know what we can do next steps, where we can take it, and yeah, see what we can do.
The Grimoire drop rate is also 1 in 200.
1 in 200.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go.
You either, if I remember correctly, so you can either get the crossbow or the Grimoire. You can't get both. Whereas all the other drops you can get on top of. They're all additive.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you. Are you okay there, John? Just worried. That's all. Am I okay to show one quick thing before we end?
No.
No.
It's finished. Get on.
Okay, fine. If we can go back to full screen, that'd be lovely. Oh, thank you, John.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Should we leave you?
Love you and
You can either. Okay, you can leave me. That's fine.
Goodbye. Have fun.
It's fine.
Leave you on your lonesome.
Like the loner I am. Alrighty. So I wanted to show you something I've done very quickly for Epic Jam, because I'm not really going to get a chance to show this any other time, as I'm sure you may all be aware. So give me just a moment here. It's going to be very quick because we're kind of getting close to the point where the network needs to be taken down for maintenance, which will turn the stream off. So I'm going to be a little bit speedy on this one. But I've done something for clans. As you know, I love clans in this game. I think clans are the most undervalued piece of content in this game, in my opinion. I'm not going to go through to all the stuff I have done for clans, but I'll just go through the one thing I've done which I think is significant enough. And that's the important thing. But before I do that, I'm just going to make sure it works. So just bear with me just a second. This is literally going to be a 30-second showcase, if that's cool. All right. So let's bring up the in-game, please, John. Right, so here's my interface, and essentially there's a couple of quality of life stuff I managed to do for clans, but the biggest one, in my opinion, is clans will now have a way to advertise their Discord server to their clan members. So if you look at my chat box, you'll see I have a message saying we have a Discord server active, press this message to join it. So you can now go on this message, and this is my actual clan. There's my Discord server, and I'm now able to join my clan's Discord. Now, what this means is, when you invite someone to your clan, they will get a message saying, if you have a Discord server active, that is, if you have invited someone to your clan, they join it, it'll also tell them, oh, we have a Discord server, come join it. Additionally, if someone joins your chat as a clan member, and they're like, oh, guys, how do I join the Discord server? You can also type /Discord, and that will bring up your clan's Discord. There are other things for quality of life stuff for clans, but I'm not going to have time to show them because obviously we started with an echo stream, everything else that came with it, and so on and so forth. But I thought I'd use that opportunity to show it very quickly. But yeah, I think it'll be nice for you all because most of you are starting to use Discord now, and that's the important thing, is trying to give you guys the ability to get clan members on there. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and hopefully you all are too. But without further ado, I'm gonna get ready to wrap up, and obviously this is now my penultimate stream. Next Tuesday is my final stream here, and I'm not gonna get all sloppy right now, but I just want to say that it's been amazing, as I'm sure you're all aware. Oh, excuse me. This isn't the time right now for me to get emotional. We'll do that on Tuesday, but it's been amazing all the same. So yes, I am still hosting the stream next Tuesday. As far as I'm aware, I will still be on stream. I don't know how that stream's gonna go. But it's been amazing, and today's stream was a usual chaotic fun, and that's what we love about them. We covered a lot of stuff. Do check out the Warden post on RuneScape.com. We have the mobile early access releasing next Tuesday for Android users. We have web coming on, showing off their awesome stuff. The amazing PvM Hub, the Solak scaling changes, the Epic Jam stuff from last week as well as this week. Epic Jam has finished. As for what is going to happen after Epic Jam, that'll be down to future streams to find out. But apart from that, I'm going to get ready to wrap up this stream, my penultimate stream, and I'll see you all next Tuesday for the very last time. So, yeah, thank you all so much for watching, as always. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Take care, and have a good one.